my Uncle Herman doesn't want me violating the leash law.
What do you have to say about this, Your Honor?
I have just this to say. My office is just a little too sophisticated to give credence to this ridiculous story.
Oh, but Your Honor.
Please, miss, I'm a very busy man.
All righty then. Let us attempt to bring an answer to an allegation or a question or an assumption that Angelsnupnup7 or this platform that we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry is a platform for atheism. That Angelsnupnup7 is an atheist. Just because you do not teach or advise or suggest that we believe in the supernatural, that we don't believe in a God or gremlins or zombies and demons and whatnot, you're placed into a category. We love to put people into these categories. And for those who don't believe in God, we're called atheists. Atheist is a derivative, or it comes from the belief in God. It is a label created by those who believe in God in an attempt to degrade, make mockery, to demean, to humiliate, to ridicule those who reject such archaic, outdated, which archaic, outdated means the same thing. I know somebody got on my case for using the two words at the same time. So we love to categorize people. I am not an atheist. In the United States of America, to my knowledge, atheism has been classified as a religion. And we reject religion and spirituality here. So it is impossible for me to be an atheist, atheism being a religion. I'm not going to let you or nobody put me into a category that I have nothing to do with at all. You did not create atheism or being an atheist, but you want to put people into these different categories. It is funny, if I'm an atheist, it's very puzzling that I would not attract other atheists, regardless to color. I would think that we would somehow be friends or something to that effect. But if you notice, and it has never happened, atheists, matter of fact, I tried to befriend black atheists, and just like you, they don't like me either. Because I am not an atheist. It is natural not to believe in God. Atheism and religion and spirituality are taught, learned behaviors. And they are given names because a man put a label on them. So that man defines the definition and tells you who or what that is. So you look at the definition and you believe that is the category, that is the proper place for you, created by another man. What is the belief of a deer or a bear or a gopher or a flea? They have no belief in any God. There's no signs that a deer has a God or a whale or a wolf or any life form on this planet. The only one interested in a God is human beings, men, because of your brain, because of your imagination. They cannot comprehend God. They cannot comprehend belief. A deer and an aardvark, a flea, a tick, a bear, live in the real world and only deal with the real, that which their brain can comprehend, because their brain is not capable of imagination. But the human being can create through imagination of your brain all kinds of fictional places of imagination that don't exist. The deer cannot do that. The bear and the salmon, their brain cannot do that. And the praying mantis and the grasshoppers, their brains cannot create a fictional world. This has both a benefit, it also has a detriment, as we live around millions, if not billions, of people around the earth who live in fantasy and fiction and delusions. And then the delusional has the nerve to judge other delusional people because your belief, your imagination is outside the norm. So that makes you crazy. So if you are alone, you're crazy, and they put you away in the crazy house. But if you can convince other people of your delusion and they believe in your lie, they believe in your delusion and fairy tale, then that is all right. I call it acceptable insanity. It is natural not to believe in God. Why should I believe in God when I can know God as a fact? And even if I knew God as a fact, I'm still not going to worship and bow down to God, because I'm not going to be a slave and a servant to nobody. I'm not going to exist just to serve somebody else. Well, I gave you life. I didn't ask you for life. Take your happy ass life back. I never asked you for a damn thing. I'm not going to bow down to you and serve you. Slavery is over. So we have somebody like the real black atheist. And I asked him one day, years ago, when you break down each word, real, black, atheist, they all contradict each other. And when you listen to Ankh, the Ibn'rad squad, the real black atheists, when you listen to them, he calls himself the God killer. The God killer, as far as he has a disdain and questions Christianity, but he embraces other fictional things. These atheists, they may not believe in the traditional or popular God, but they believe in spirituality and they believe in fantasy fictional nonsense. That's why you don't see them coming here, because they believe in fantasy and fairy tales, delusions, just not the popular Abrahamic religions. They are also stuck in Disneyland some damn where. They claim to be spiritual. Also, they use atheism to justify having no kind of morality, having no kind of righteous behavior. There's no need for it because that's a religious thing. We don't do that here. There's no copyright on morality. There's no copyright on righteousness. You don't have to believe in God and be spiritual to have morality, nor do you have to believe in some God or be spiritual and practice what is righteous, because that is a behavior that is only the activity of doing something that is good for your life, no more, no less. And there are those who call us a skeptic. A skeptic is only one who is inclined to question, who is doubtful. So you're telling us that we have, and nobody has the right to question or doubt these belief systems. Whenever you are around anyone, anybody, or anything that talks about or have a problem with questions, or they have a problem with you doubting, chances are they are a deceiver and a manipulator. They have an ulterior motive for you, and that is to make you a slave. That is to use you. That is to make a slave out of you, manipulate you, use you for their purpose. You would think after thousands of years have gone by, none of this religious garbage has come true. Jesus has not returned. Nobody has ever went to no place with 100 virgins after they died in some Islamic battle. There's no evidence that none of this stuff exists. There's no heaven, there's no hell, there's no God, there's no devil. There's no evidence, none of it exists. Why should we believe when we can know? Just like you're listening to me on a video on social media. We should feel the same about God and devil. We should know. We should know there's a place called hell. We should know about this place called heaven. We should know, not believe. And just because we doubt, you're supposed to doubt. If you're hungry and somebody said, get you a handful of those potato chips, and they tell you there's potato chips in the bag, and you reach into the bag and you don't never feel nothing, don't you have the right to doubt that person? Hey, say, I'm reaching deeper and deeper into this bag. I don't feel nothing. But they keep telling you there's potato chips in the bag. But you never, as long as you reach around and feel around in the bag, you never feel no potato chips. And so in religion, they tell you that's all right. And you look silly. And the person told you, no, they know there's no potato chips in the bag. And we look so silly, running around, reaching, fondling around in the bag. There's no potato chips. And that's how you look with this belief in God stuff. There's no God. There's no devil. All that stuff is fairy tale, delusional. And remember, all this was taught to people who were illiterates. Ancient people who were illiterates. They didn't know any better. Here you are in 2021 and you copying and learning from illiterate folks. Been passed down from generation to generation due to violence. A lot of this stuff was forced on the people. Not because the people embraced it. Because our brain will reject it. It was forced on us since we were children. And passed from generation to generation. Why can't we doubt? Why can't we question something is wrong? Why you want us to believe